Well, what do you say we talk about politics? Not just party politics, Republicans, Democrats. Let's talk about American politics. For the longest time, I've heard people say, we've got to stop Congress from doing this, stop Congress from doing that. They shouldn't be elected serve for life terms in Congress. And you're probably right, except for one little problem. In a court case that was heard by the Supreme Court says, hey, you can't put limits on members of Congress, how long they can serve, because it's not in the Constitution. So everything we operate in this country operates under the concept of the Constitution. Now, we have modified the Constitution on occasion. As a matter of fact, we've modified it 27 times. But do we need another constitutional amendment? That's what we're going to talk about right now. What if a new constitutional amendment was introduced from the people, from the groundswell, from the ground up? Let me just think about it this way. The 26th Amendment, that 26th Amendment took 3 months and 8 days to pass. 3 months and 8 days. It had to be approved by the House, the Senate, and roughly 35 of the 50 states had to approve an amendment to the Constitution. And it got done in 3 months and 8 days. Now, of the 27 amendments to the Constitution, 7 took 1 year or less to become a law of the land. So, how do we get a Constitution run through this country? Well, here's something that someone has come up with. It's called the Congressional Reform Act of 2025. And they want you to tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody, so we can get a grassroots thing going. Tell you the truth, not so sure it'd be successful because there's a lot of people that do not want what's in this bill. All right, let me tell you what's in this Congressional Reform Act of 2025. First, no tenure, no pension. Congressmen will collect a salary, $174,000 while in office, but no pay when they get out. You realize when senators get out, they get paid for life? Congressmen get paid for life? $174,000 a year, $175,000? Yeah, one of the perks they have. They voted that for themselves. Another thing, Congress will mandate everybody participates in Social Security, including the members of Congress. All funds from the Congressional Retirement Fund, and there is one just for the Congress, their own retirement fund, gets put into Social Security. Everybody lives on Social Security. I don't care who you are, congressman, senator, you're all the same boat with the rest of us. Here's another thing in that Congressional Reform Act of 2025. Congress can purchase their own retirement plan just like you and I do. Yep, they want to get a retirement plan, purchase it themselves with their own money. Item number 4, Congress can no longer vote themselves a pay raise. We kind of have that now. It has to go into a different session of Congress to be able to vote a pay raise. But when they do, under this new rule, the amount of the pay raise could be lower of the CPI or 3%. So whichever is lowest, either 3% or the CPI. That's the deal for Congress. Can't be raising themselves big money. It's got to be set down. And here's another big one. Congress loses their health care program. They've got a program in the Congress of health care that's rock, it's gold, it's platinum, it's diamond, you call it. Well, that's gone. That should be gone with this amendment. They got to get the same health care system that we all utilize. Force them to live like us. Now, remember, I said, someone years ago tried to get Congress their terms ended, saying, okay, you can only do X, Y, and Z, 2 terms, 3 terms, whatever it is. That was taken to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says, nah, can't do it. It's not in the Constitution that's limited. If you want to get it changed, you must change the Constitution. So, and that's something to think about. So do you think America can get together and get another constitutional amendment with all these things in it? Personally, I doubt it. Because the Congress and the Senate, they ain't going to allow this to happen. Let's face it. They're not going to bite their face off. It's not going to happen. They don't want that to happen. They're being bought and paid for by various organizations. And they want to continue that because the cushiony life they live as a senator or a congressman It'll be a pretty good deal. So, 28th Amendment, you can try it if you want. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, folks. It's a nice idea. Congressional Reform Act of 2025. Sounds wonderful. But the truth of the matter is, the members of Congress will prevent it. Now, can you get a grassroots effort? People calling up and saying, no, we want to have our grassroots, have our own congressional convention? You can try. You can try all you want. But remember, you got red states and the blue states are not going to want to have any part of anything involving taking away their Congress, because that's where they get their money. That's where they get their power. And frankly, they don't want to have that messed with. So I think it's a good idea someone's charging. I'll give them credit for that. But the Congressional Reform Act of 2025, it's a pipe dream, folks. And I'm sorry. It won't happen because things are too badly entrenched in Washington, D.C., and they are basically bought and paid for by the lobbies that run the Congress and run the United States. And if you don't believe me, ask your congressman. Maybe he will tell you.